throughout the month.
Well, I'm looking at the flyer. Should I call you Imam Rashad Sharif? Is that like, I mean, is it the same as saying Reverend or?
Yes, exactly.
So Imam.
Yes.
Rashad Sharif. I didn't know that. See, he's a humble man. I said, what's your role in this? He said, I'm just a representative. He's the Imam from one of the major mosques here in town. And I'm looking at the flyer here, Imam. And, I mean, this is incredible. You got guest speakers, you got art festivals, you got feeding the hungry, you got community day. There's so much. Is this a 1 mile walk run? I'm going to let you touch on some of that. But the month of March is Muslims in Memphis month.
Exactly.
Is that right?
That's exactly it.
Well, how many Muslims are there in Memphis?
Oh, it just depends on who you ask.
That's why I asked.
And it depends on how you count. Actually, I don't have official numbers.
I got you.
You know, and just as you know, there are some people who are regular in showing up, and there's the 2 times a year people. You know. I
know. Well, it's like church. Yeah, like churches here.
You know.
Well, you know, since we're talking on this subject, because we are going to get into the specifics of the events coming up in March, but a good buddy of mine, Anthony Boyce Canada, we go back 30 years. He is a Muslim, Saeed Salat, and a lot of guys I know. So you have Americans who have adopted the Muslim faith. You have people who are from other parts of the world who have always been Muslim and who now live in Memphis.
Correct.
You have people who marry Muslims. So just a little bit about that, because, you know, I think a lot of people know close friends and loved ones who may or may not know that this is a practicing Muslim. What do you have to say about that, Imam Rashad Sharif?
Well, that is the reality. There may be a stereotype of Muslims as being only people from overseas, or people of only a certain ethnicity, but we come in all flavors. And we have our histories and the backgrounds, and so some may be from overseas, and some may be from America, from the old historic front of the bus, and some may be from America, from the old historic back of the bus. You know, we all have our stories. It's not a stereotype or bull type of thing in reality.
Is there one nation or one culture that is the dominant culture, in other words, from Iraq or from an African country? Is there one, like if you go to, I think I heard if you go to Minnesota, there's a large Somali population. Is there one group that dominates more than any others, or is this like across the board?
No, you have pockets. Historical pockets, because when there is immigration, people sometimes tend to go to where their group has made a foothold. So you have some of that, but not enough to make a dominance of this or that. So the dominance really is in the commonality of the faith, and the people are diverse.
Okay, are there mosques all over Memphis and Shelby County, or primarily inside the city with just a couple in the suburban community?
Well, when we had open mosque day on the first Saturday of this month, we had 7 participating mosques in various parts of the city.
At various parts, okay. And Friday prayer?
Same thing.
Same thing. All right. Talking with Imam Rashad Sharif. He's the imam of a major mosque here in Memphis, talking about the month-long cultural celebration, Muslims in Memphis Incorporated, in their 15th year for celebrating Muslims in Memphis, started by then Mayor Willie Harrington. What led to that? Just you guys approached him and said we need better relations, or we really want to reach into the community. Did they reach out to you? How did it get started? Because I'm going to bring us up to now, and everybody is welcome to the events coming up in the month of March.
What happened? There was a cultural day at City Hall, and various, what you might say, minority cultural groups made presentations. And I think the presentation that the Muslims collectively put together was impressive enough that it struck the mayor that it would be a very progressive thing for the city of Memphis to be the first to proclaim such a thing. And it was in 2003, so you had the 9/11-2001 spirit in the air.
Correct.
And so in 2002, he decided to offer a month for the city to be exposed to what he had been exposed to at that presentation at City Hall, and we chose March.
Has any of the rest of the nation, kind of followed this? Have you reached out to Muslim communities and other places, say, look, this is what we do, and this is a very impressive calendar? And then when you answer that, I'm going to ask you if Memphis is a welcoming community. But are there other communities that celebrate March as Muslim month in that city?
No, I don't think it's, there are other cities that celebrate March, but there are other cities now, maybe 3 or 4 of them, that have a designated month.
Oh.
But the month is tailored to the particular city.
Okay.
So in suggesting March, we were filling a gap between Black History Month in February and Africa in April.
I see. You know what? That's absolutely right. February. And then, of course, Muslims in March, and then Africa in April.
And then Memphis
in May. Wow, that is cultural. Talking with Imam Rashad Sharif. And you can reach out to that organization, folks, at 854-4897 in case you want more information and want to participate. And then, of course, you can log on to www.muslimsinmemphis, one word, .org. Also lurking over there in the shadows is Miss Angie O'Day. She's the one that made contact. I'm going to pull the mic to her before we finish in here with Imam Rashad Sharif. Now, Imam Rashad Sharif, is Memphis a welcoming community? Because we're not going to get too deep into the politics of what's happening on a national level. As I say, one of my best friends, almost a blood brother, has taught me a lot about the Muslim faith, about, not only Muhammad and, all of what we have experienced here nationally. Malcolm X, of course, one of the people that I have studied over the years. So, we have these issues. Is Memphis a welcoming community? And I know you want to be nice, but I want you to be honest. As you are. I'm talking to the Imam. My fault.
Speaking from the point of view of...
Only tells the truth. My fault, Imam.
Speaking from the point of view of the Muslim perspective, Memphis has superior interfaith relations. That network, it so happens, built upon some of the groundwork that was made after Dr. King's assassination. Ministers took initiatives to make black-white coalitions and networking, and et cetera, et cetera. And after 9/11, from those same quarters, some of those ministers who are older even and wiser than back then decided to use those same skills that they had learned to do similarly between the Christians and the Muslims, which that takes care of the majority of the population. And so Memphis's interfaith spirit and welcoming, as far as the Muslim perspective is concerned, is far superior to the average.
Is there a relationship with the Jewish community in Memphis, to your knowledge?
There is.
A good relationship.
A good relationship. It's a cordial relationship, and the cooperation is increasing.
Absolutely. Imam Rashad Sharif, let me ask this next to the last political question. You mentioned 2001 and the 9/11 issue. I believe most of the attackers were from Saudi Arabia. To your knowledge, were they primarily Muslim? Was that the driving force? Just, again, I just want to touch on it for those listeners, because we need people to embrace the cultural side of good citizens, good Muslim Americans, good citizens, reaching out to exchange culture and awareness and love and peace. But a lot of people have that stuck in their heads. Were all of those folks primarily Muslim?
Well, concerning 9/11, I have no inside information.
Right.
I just get told stuff on TV.
Well, yeah, I got you. Enough said about that. Now, President Trump, you know, with these issues he's got, I'll let you make any statement you want to make about that, and then we're going to touch on the events of Muslims in Memphis Incorporated. Anything on what the president is talking about doing? Any statements you want to make on that?
Well, not really. Muslims in Memphis, Inc. is a cultural organization, not really a political organization.
Gotcha.
So that's another topic.
Absolutely, for another day and another station. Yeah, talking with Imam Rashad Sharif, because, sir, 15 years now, you being the Imam, you're bringing love and fellowship to this community. Memphis needs all the love it can get. We got a lot of issues right here in this city, and as far as our young people, I encourage them to pray. I encourage them to be spiritual and have belief. So let's talk a little bit about what you want to accomplish, what Muslims in Memphis wants to accomplish with all of these various activities. So the mic is yours to talk about what you want to, what you'd like to do.
First of all, before the end of the month, we have a big festival at the Agricultural Center, the Agri Center, and it is Saturday, March the 25th. And at the Agri Center, we have the food and the bazaars and vendors and the cultural exhibits, as well as some shows within a show at the Agri Center. There will be a comedian toward the end of the day, and an Arabic light calligraphy show. Those two things actually have a ticket charge.
That's okay, you gotta pay for it.
But
you call it a cultural festival? What did you call it? Cultural?
It's MusliMeMfest. It's a play on Memphis, and it's called MusliMeMfest. And a person who comes out to MusliMeMfest gets an opportunity to have a tremendous amount of exposure to information. And you can just walk through the Agri Center from exhibit booth to exhibit booth and taste the foods and
buy some of the items.
Buy some of the items. There will be even an Ask the Imam booth, where there will be an imam there, and you can sit with him and ask him whatever questions you might like to ask.
Is this like going to a Catholic confession, or is this talking to the preachers?
This is the opportunity to do one-on-one Q&A.
Okay, I like that.
Ask the imam. It's not a hidden booth. It's an open booth like everything else.
Right.
And that's on the final Saturday, March the 25th. But before that, and even after that, there's so many informational sessions.
Right.
There's a lady who's going to be speaking at First Baptist Church tomorrow night. Friday, March the 10th, from 7 till 9. Her name is Maria Khani. She is Syrian. But she's lived all around the world, and she is an interfaith person and an educator. She's a board member of the Orange County, California Interfaith. Okay, she'll be here, and she'll be speaking about Islam and Muslims across the centuries. That's on the Friday the 10th. Then on Thursday the 16th, out at Rhodes College, we have a professor, which is Dr. Nabil Bayakli. He'll be speaking about the history of Islam in the New World at Rhodes College, 7 to 9 p.m. And he's a man who teaches at college, a university, and a theological seminary.
Well, flip back to that other page, because I was going to ask you, as I glance at your notes here, today is the 9th. It's the 9th? Today's the 9th.
Today's the 9th.
Touch on those. You got 2 events on the 10th and 2 on the 11th. If you could touch on those, then I'm going to have to play a jazz song, Randy Crawford, from her collection, The Street Life. And then we're going to come back. Can you stick around for a few more minutes? Yeah, but if you would touch on those, because those are the ones coming up, you know, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, and then we're going to push them.
Tomorrow, Friday, March 10th at 1:15 in the afternoon on Friday, we have a khutbah, an Islamic sermon that people can hear hear firsthand by going to Masjid Al-Mu'minun at 4412 South 3rd Street. And the guest lecturer is Imam Abdul Aziz from New York.
Okay.
And then that's Friday at 1:15 p.m. And then, as I said, Friday at 7 p.m. at night at First Baptist Church at 200 East Parkway North.
Okay, First Baptist.
It's like Parkway and Union, Parkway Central, something like that.
Okay.
Maria Khani will be speaking about Islam and Muslims across the centuries. Then Saturday of this weekend, there's a 1 mile walk run, which will be in the Prospect Park area at 2463 Ball Road
Prospect
West.
Park, yeah.
Yes, it's a 9 a.m. event, and then later that night, when if a person goes to the Grizzlies game, it's Islamic Heritage Night at the Pyramid with the Grizzlies.
This Saturday.
Playing the Atlanta Hawks.
At the FedEx Forum.
At the FedEx.
I was going to say,
I said the Pyramid.
Should have been in the Pyramid, but at FedEx Forum. So, to recap, on the 10th, there's a guest speaker around 1 that day.
1:15, right.
And that's out on 3rd Street.
It's 3rd Street, 4412 South 3rd.
Friday night, tomorrow night, that's at the church on Parkway.
First Baptist Church on Parkway, yes.
Okay, Saturday is a 1 mile walk at Prospect Park.
2463 Ball Road West, yes.
And then the last thing was the Grizzlies game.
The Grizzlies game, indeed.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let me play a song here. Talking with Imam Rashad Sharif. We're going to spend a few more minutes about the Muslims in Memphis Incorporated, a major organization with their month-long cultural celebration. Memphis is doing more than most, and we appreciate Imam Rashad Sharif. Folks, you can reach out to him, 854-4897. And you can always log on to www.muslimsinmemphis.org. And when Imam, when we come back, we're going to talk about the MusliMeMfest on Saturday, March 25th at the Agri Center. And I appreciate Miss Angie O'Day. Yeah, she's still here. She's quiet. I want to pull her in as we come back and we'll start to wrap up. But thank you so much for hanging out with me, Imam Rashad Sharif. I appreciate you. We're going to be right back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Tony Nicholson, taking you back in jazz on your Thursday afternoons. Right here on the best jazz station in the nation. 340 and 71 degrees. Spend a few more minutes with the Imam. Well, I tell you, I'm in good company. Here's Randy Crawford in Street Life. I'm Tony Nicholson. Appreciate you hanging out with me as we take you back in jazz on your Thursday afternoons. From 3 to 5, Mike Malvisi is in from 5 to 7. And then, of course, as you heard, Babalu with Island Dreams Mine. I don't think we got a baseball game tonight. Might get rained out if we do. We've got 71 degrees right now in downtown. A slight chance of showers later on this evening. High today 75. We passed that. Thunderstorms likely overnight. A low of 52 degrees. And then for your Friday, it says here, mostly sunny skies and a high of only 57. Friday night, mostly clear. Guess what, y'all? Temperatures dropping back into the 30s. And it says a slight chance of rain on Saturday. Would get this a wintry mix. Likely, I can't believe it. We had 70 and 80 degrees in February. And like my aunts have told me, Tony, it could do a little something in the month of March. You're kidding. No, I'm not kidding. So on, looks like Saturday during the day, Saturday evening, be careful, a slight chance of a wintry mix, as they say. In studio with my guest, I'm honored to have the Imam Rashad Sharif, and he's spending a little time talking about the month-long cultural celebration, Muslims in Memphis Incorporated. And Imam, we're going to go just a few more minutes. I had to give you time to, reiterate or, invite whatever you'd like to do. The microphone, sir, is yours, and we want everybody in Memphis, whatever faith you are, race, creed, or color, to participate with an incredible cultural awareness festival, especially Imam MusliMeMfest, Saturday, March 25th at the Agri Center. Go ahead, sir. What is it you'd like to say?
Well, first, we want to be sure that people are aware of our program that we're going to pack, God willing, 50,000 meals to be shipped to hungry people somewhere in the world.
Yes,
we don't know where in the world, but we've done this 3 times already, and we're going to aim to do it a 4th time Pack 50,000 meals.
Where
and
is
that's
that?
going to be at Pleasant View School, 5758 Bartlett Road, and that is Sunday, March 19th at noon.
Wow.
Sunday, March 19th
Come out
at
for
noon.
that.
And we just roll up our sleeves, and we have an organized system to get her done.
Food is donated by various organizations?
No, we raise the money amongst the Muslim community.
Wow.
And we buy the ingredients, and it's put together by an experienced international relief agency.
Wow.
And
That's wonderful.
people of faith just lend a hand.
Wow.
And there's
Yes,
a
sir.
system that they show us how to efficiently put the ingredients together in packages.
I see.
And they go overseas, mainly to institutions that service children, such as schools, orphanages,
Yes, sir.
et cetera, et cetera.
Feeding the hungry. Yes,
And
sir.
then in the area of info, there's so much info we're aiming to get out this month. There are 2 art exhibits
Okay.
on the 15th at Germantown Library, and on the 22nd at the Cordova Library.
Art exhibits.
Islamic art.
Islamic art exhibits.
Islamic art exhibits.
Wow.
The 15th, that's 2 Wednesdays. Wednesday the 15th at Germantown Library, and Wednesday the 22nd at the Cordova Library.
Yes, sir.
Then on March 18th, those who are able to get to the Hollywood Community Center can get info about their own selves and their own situations.
That's right.
Because there's a health and legal fair.
Hollywood Community Center.
Hollywood
yes, sir.
Community
right there,
Center.
Hollywood, near Hollywood and Chelsea.
Yes. So that will be Saturday the 18th at 10 a.m.
Gotcha.
There'll be medical people and legal people giving free consultation.
Wow.
Now, you mentioned cooperation with the Jewish community.
Yes, sir.
There'll be an interfaith event on March the 27th, which is a Monday. Monday, March 27th at Temple Israel.
Wonderful.
There'll be an interfaith
Wonderful.
event on why justice is foundational to Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. It'll be from 7 to 8:30 in the evening at Temple Israel.
Hey, Mom, this is a month-long cultural festival and cultural awareness celebration. That's got you moving every day.
For sure.
For sure. And Friday, but now ask about Friday prayers. That's ongoing at every one of the mosques.
Any Friday.
Any Friday.
Yes.
Anybody can come.
Anybody can.
Because I pass by a lot of times, usually I'm either running behind schedule, but, I've gone into Catholic churches. I'm a Christian, but I've gone into Catholic churches just to be in the aura of faith, and I would assume, even if I did not know what to do, I take my shoes off, I kneel to pray. I would assume anybody can come into a mosque and just participate and have words of faith.
Yes. Now, as far as the Friday prayer, since there are so many mosques around town, each one independently sets its time.
Okay.
So I know that the one at 4412 South 3rd Street has its Friday prayer at 1:15.
Okay.
But if there's another mosque that's closer to you, call in advance and find out what's the time.
Okay. Well, now, the Agri Center on March 25th.
Yes,
Agri
sir.
Center. What about now? That sounds like a major festival. Lots of vendors, lots of culture, lots of art, lots of great food.
It is that. It is our second annual MusliMeMfest. So we kicked it off last year, and we're taking it up a notch this
sir.
year. And again, it's free. You can bring the kids. There'll be bouncers and kiddie
Wait,
entertainment.
did you say free?
Free.
On Saturday, March 25th.
25th.
What time does it start?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
through 6 p.m.
It's free?
For free.
And that was, you know what? That's the best price in town, but to come in for free, of course, bring money because there are some things that cost money, the food and other items you may want to buy. But for all of those, Memphians out there, Shelby Countyans, anywhere that you're listening to this on Saturday, March 25th, bring the children, bring the family for a free event at the Agri Center and just spend some time and have fellowship and communion and whatever it's called. But Imam Rashad Sharif, that is wonderful. A free event on Saturday, March 25th at the Agri Center.
And one more thing we want to mention, it's from 10 to 6. At 6, all of these activities we mentioned close down, but the comedy show starts at 6, featuring the comedian WUMR and he was on the Late Show with Colbert.
Really?
Just a few nights ago. He's big.
So anybody who's there, because, you know, they could have gotten there at 4 or 5 o'clock for free, they'll still get to hear the comedy show.
The comedy show is $10.
Okay, well, they need to bring, thank you. I was about to say, you got
to... show for $10 for the comedy show and $5 for an Arabic light calligraphy.
Well, they need to definitely do that. I mean, it is entertainment. And folks, you know, we have to, you know, share the wealth and spend a little money for these events. Go ahead. Angie just wrote something for you there.
Yeah, the people who would like to get the tickets to these shows within the show, just go online to www.MuslimsInMemphis.org.
MUSLIMS, MuslimsInMemphis.org. Go ahead and log on to it, and the information is there to get tickets for the show within the show. 15th year for Muslims in Memphis Incorporated, 2nd year for MusliMeMfest, and that's a big deal coming up on Saturday, March 25th, but at the Agri Center from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But Imam Rashad Sharif, there's so many other cultural activities throughout the month. People just need to go to log on.
Right.
Or even call 854-4897 so that you can get the accurate information. I only got a couple of minutes left, and I'm going to have to get out. You know, as I say, Angie, from now on, WUMR, and certainly me, I'm going to have you on a lot earlier. Glad we're in the month of March. She is a very good PR person because she stayed on point and stayed true to it. As a matter of fact, Imam, slide that microphone over there to Miss Angie O'Day. I told her I was going to do this. Right into it there. You don't want to kiss it. I don't know who else has been doing that. Angie O'Day, hello, dear. How are you?
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
She's lovely and talented and doing such a great job of promoting Muslims in Memphis. What do you want to say to anyone out there? Not only, you know, ladies, families. What do you want to say? Angie O'Day, with the media director for Muslims in Memphis. What would you like to say as we start to wrap up?
I'd just like to say if you can just come out and try coming to one or two of our events and just meet us. Just get to know us. We're part of the community here. We live here. We work here. We have our kids in school here, and we just want to get to know everyone in the community. And we hope you want to come out and meet us too.
Absolutely. Well, as I say, if the Imam will leave, or if you leave one of these, I'm going to post it in the studio, and we'll be sure to continue to get the mentions out. I do a Sunday night show, and I'll definitely be sure to promote that. But, you know, Muslims in Memphis Incorporated, this sounds, Imam, okay, Angie, you good? You want to say something else? She didn't want to say that. Go ahead, slide that microphone back across. All right, Miss Angie O'Day, she's so modest, but again, doing a great job. 854-4897, and Imam Rashad Sharif, you got the last word, sir. And we'll certainly keep talking about Muslims in Memphis Incorporated, the 15th year for a month-long cultural celebration. And one of the big events is MusliMeMfest, free to the public on Saturday, March 25th at the Agri Center from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You know?
We just want to close by saying that we are very much enthused about the fact that Memphis gives us this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
And we try our best to rise to the occasion and marshal the resources in order to make good and valuable presentations for the Memphis community. And we do invite people to have an opportunity to come out, meet us firsthand, hear from us firsthand, ask us questions firsthand, see our exhibits firsthand, listen to the speakers that we're flying into Memphis from all around the country. You get to listen to them firsthand, visit the art exhibits, roll up your sleeves with us, and let's pack up some meals to feed the hungry.
What's that date in Bartlett to pack the meals?
Sunday, March the 19th at noon.
And where is that going to be?
Pleasant View School on Bartlett Road.
Okay, a lot of folks will definitely promote that one. And as I say, with you, you know, I mean, as I say, I know my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. Would you say a prayer or just a word of, you know, blessing over the city of Memphis? Imam Rashad Sharif, if you would.
Since you mentioned Jesus,
yes, sir.
I'd like to say, Let our hearts not deviate now that we have been guided, and let us all, Muslim, Christian, let us all pay more heed to the teachings of Jesus, which the Quran says contain guidance and light. And his words deserve more attention than they get.
Thank you. Thank you, Imam. I appreciate that. I need prayer. Could always use it. Imam Rashad Sharif for the month-long cultural celebration. Angie, we good with everything? We good? I'm Tony Nicholson taking you back in jazz. Let me make